Welcome, sixth graders. Happy Friday. I'm not here today, and so I'm going to go over in this video what you need to work on for your assignment in the Fling Machine. Whether you're in my classroom with the guest teacher or if that didn't work out and you're in the auditorium, this is what you're going to have to work on. So you should have already completed task number 1 on Wednesday, which if you didn't do, I'll go over that real quick, but that's vocabulary definitions. You want to have that done first. The second thing is task number 2, where you have to come up with your Fling Machine plan. What are you going to build and use next Tuesday? And so ultimately, I encourage you all to research ideas, look up, Google search it, and then from there you can decide what you want it to be. And so a quick research, if you Google search Fling Machine ideas, you are going to see a lot of different ideas here. And my advice is just find a couple that you combine the ideas on, making sure that we will have the materials available. So but from here you can get an idea of how something could work or how you might fling that cotton ball when you start building on Tuesday. So once you have your research and you've looked up and found out an idea that you think you're going to build and that it'll work, the next step then is, I already talked about this. If you don't know what you're going to do, research ideas. If you do know what you're going to build, I still encourage you to find more ideas because I don't want you to just try one thing and say, I'm done. We're going to try different ways to make it go further and make it better. And so these are the things you could Google search Fling Machine ideas, which is what I just did. Otherwise, PLTW, which is what this class is, Project Lead the Way, Fling Machine. And then from there, you're going to sketch your plan out. Now, if you're in my classroom, you're going to get paper and draw it out. If you're in the auditorium, you are going to do it in a Google Draw, which I will show in a little bit. But when you have your drawing, you want to label each part of your sketch. It's okay if you're a bad drawer, but just label it. Show me this is the material I'm using, and then also a small description of how you think it's going to work and how you plan on building it. And so when you're done with this, remember, you need to give proof of it by putting it in your design notebook. And so that's what I'm going to show also at the end here. You put your drawing in there when you're done. And so here is an example of a common one that students build. And so based on this drawing, if this was your plan, what's wrong with the sketch? Ultimately, the design plan itself looks good. It would work if that's what you decide to do. I encourage you again to find more than one idea, but this one is missing. The parts are not labeled and it needs a small description. So when you add those two things, hopefully you can see what it looks like, but it would just be a rubber band pointing at that, cotton ball pointing at it. So label the materials, drawing arrows, and then a quick small description, 1 or 2 sentences of how it will work. So in your design notebook, you should have done task number 1. Again, that's the vocab definitions. If you're not done with that yet, do that first. When you're done with task number 1, and a reminder, here are the materials you can use for the Fling Machine. It is in your design notebook. Looking at these materials, you are now going to sketch your plan. And here's task number 2. It says start day number 2. Sketch your possible design ideas for your Fling Machine, include images of your sketches, and decide what you will create. When you draw out your Fling Machine, you are going to take a picture of it and insert it in here. To do that, you go up to Insert, and you can see my cursor up here, Insert, Image, and Camera. I'm not going to select it now because my camera is already in use, but when you select this, you would hold your piece of paper up there, and then your drawing would go into here. If you do not have paper and you're in the auditorium, then you're going to go to your Google Drive, and then it says More in the top left corner, and click on Google Drawings. It's not as easy, at least for me, I feel like personally, to do in the Google Drawing, but take your time to still draw out what your Fling Machine plan is going to be, and then same thing, you can insert this image into your design notebook. So that's what you're going to be working on. Step number 1 is finish task number 2. Research your Fling Machine ideas, sketch your plan, and then insert a picture of it in your design notebook. Be kind to each other. Make good choices today by doing the work. Don't just opt out because there is a guest teacher. and I will see you on Tuesday. If you are done with task 1 and task 2, you will get to start building on Tuesday.